Hello YouTube, it is I, Blaze of Blazing Flames Studio, on my second video with the new model. Again, if you have any ideas for the name of the new model, please let me know. But it is time to head into the Qiaoying of the Sacred Mountain for Chenyu's Blessings of Sunken Jade. Let's get started, shall we? Go to the tea-making workshop. I am here for tea. This is not where the tea is. Very well, I will climb until I get to the proper authority. This is the tea-making workshop? Uncle Luo, this batch still isn't any good. They're not fragrant enough when you dry them. They get so dry and brittle that you can't even put them in the roller. Even the ones that survive the secondary processes come out to the other end a complete disaster. Are you sure this isn't a problem with the machine? Are you sure you haven't forgotten how to operate it? What a thing to say. How could we dare be careless with you looking over our shoulders? Humph. How could you, indeed? Aya, it's Grandpa Lu. Jin, get back to work. And this respectable-looking young miss is? I am but one who comes to the aid of the oppressed in their moment of need, a disciple of Guha. Ah, I'm the young lady of the Feian Commerce Guild. This is my servant. It will suffice to call her Mini Pie. In that case, welcome, welcome. A guest like you is a rare treat indeed. We have been quite reluctant on the assistance of the Commerce Guild for many a year, but as for what happened this year, I suspect you've already heard about it. What's wrong? We're looking pretty miserable. Did Jin mess up at work again? Ah, you old. Mocking me again. My apologies, dear guests. Normally I would invite guests from afar to sample our new teas, but this year's batch, well, you know. No need to stand on ceremony, Chief Lo. We're here to help. Yes, the young lady is very concerned about the tea leaves, so there's no need to be so tied up with the formalities, Chief Lo. Very well, then. Tell the truth, this batch of tea leaves is no good either. They can't be dried, and I can't tell if they were bad when they were picked, or if it's a problem with the machine in our workshop. Huh. How's that difficult? Why not use some of the older leaves you have in stock and see if the product you get from drying them is any different? If the product is normal, then you'll know it isn't a problem with the machine. Seriously, I've told you before. Forget it. As we do have important guests present, then we'll give your method a try. Jin, do we have any fresh tea leaves remaining from older batches? There's some in the warehouses. What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh, good one. We've been talking here for a good long while now, and you weren't listening to a single word, were you? Go fetch some of the older batches and process it along with some of the newer stuff that Grandpa Lu bought using the machine. Don't you dare skip a single step, I'll be watching you. After a bit, Jin brings back 2 batches of freshly dried tea. How about this? I see our 2 guests are quite young. They might prefer snacks to tea tasting. Why not turn these 2 batches into tea cakes? The quality of each will be evident with a single taste. What do you think, old Luo? Agreed, we'll do just that. Jin, listen up. Take these 2 batches of tea leaves and make them into 2 different tea cakes. 1 cake from each batch. Don't you dare even get a single leaf mixed up. Yes, sir, Uncle Luo. You want me to mix them all into 1 cake? Oh, I can't even... Yeah, that sounds about right. Sorry for the long wait. We've got both tea cakes here. Let's try them one at a time, shall we? Well, how's the taste? The first one tasted a bit strange, but the second one was delicious. I agree. The tea cakes made from the tea we had in stock taste fine. All right, you win. Well, according to you, the processing machinery is fine. In other words, the problem is with the tea itself. This new batch of tea is just not as good as before. So the water and soil. Or perhaps it's the cauldron that's the problem. It's old and in disrepair, which must have offended the Adeptus, causing the tea to deteriorate. No, it's the soil and water. It's the elements that nourish the soil. Enough. Let's get that technician in charge of the tea cauldron here first. It's that Fontanian, the one from the Fontaine Research Institute. What was it again? Names would be such a pronounced. Jin, go get her, would you? Jin! Jin's gone. Where did that lazy loafer abscond to this time? That brainless nitwit? I was going to have him go to Yilong Wharf and search for our technician. Which do you need someone specifically from Fontaine to fix it? Heh. Well, whether in the leeway of Fontaine, most things powered by elemental energy work on more or less the same principles, yeah? If a Fontainian engineer can fix it, so can our thaumaturges. Just so happens that Miss Oatmoon Tenyi likes to travel around Liyue, passes through here every so often, and loves to offer her services. So as for this round of tea cauldron maintenance, well, let's leave it to her. So you see, honored guests, I'm really sorry, but I need you to go to Yilong Wharf and find our technician, Miss Oatmoon Tenyi. It's more likely that she's found herself a show that she can't tear her eyes off of. How could you possibly ask our guest to go do such a thing? Oh, Luo, you misunderstand me. Our honored guest already had business to attend to at Yilong Wharf, and it would be passing along a message on their way. It's nothing, really. Is that so? Would seem to be so. I'm truly sorry. Then if you would, honored guests, old Lu, I'll leave it to you to accompany them. Ah, thanks for your hard work. You scared old Luo so much he was jumping at his own shadow. You mentioned earlier that you're here to investigate the water and soil, right? Best you head over to Yilong Wharf, then. It isn't far from the headwaters, and there are ruins left by the Adepti along the way, so if you're looking for clues, that's your best bet. As for passing a message to Miss Oatmoon Tenyi, well, please lend me a hand. Would you give old Lu some peace of mind so he doesn't worry himself to death? For the young lady, 'tis but a trifling matter. Why are you still acting? The show's over, and Paimon just realized. What's with Mini Pie, anyway? Anyway, just leave it to us. You can rest easy, Grandpa Lu. Such great kids you are. Really great kids. Oh, right. I noticed that you two really enjoyed the tea cake. Why don't I teach you the recipe? Next time you come by some quality tea leaves, you'll be able to make some for yourselves. In any case, safe travels. Be careful on the mountain pass, and mind you don't slip. Got anything to say? Nope. Bye. Alright. Leave Qiaoying village. Something tells me when I leave Oh, a golden carp. What? Best to follow the golden carp, I suppose. Where are you taking me? Over the river and through the woods.
No more lies.
Parachute treasure hoarders. And gonna come down to, can I move you? Traveler, Paimon, you two are indeed brilliant, as expected. Upon seeing my dissipated adeptal energy, you immediately understood the situation. Of course. We're super-duper experienced adventurers, you know. Still, why didn't you just say anything sooner? You didn't just forget, did you? About that. Should not the path of the Adepti be full of challenges? 'Tis merely a test of your wisdom. It was you who brought us here. Speaking of which, just what's the problem with the soil and water you mentioned before? Grandpa Lu was also sure that this was behind the deteriorating quality of the tea leaves. Yes, you too have seen Qiaoying village. Should the quality and quantity of tea leaves continue to decline, so will the village until finally, in the years to come, it degenerates back into what it was millennia before, a desolate mountain forest. I see what you mean. That's kind of hard to wrap your brain around. Can bad tea really destroy Qiaoying village? It is true, the Lord of Geo would not stand idly by as the disaster befell. Were the sky to collapse, the conqueror of demons and other adepti would do their utmost to support it. Should the waters under Yilong Wharf breach the dikes and floods, Liyue Arbor would aid the villagers. But without tea, the stretch of mountains would, or Qiaoying village rather, would lose its very reason to exist in human eyes. That makes sense. When you put it like that, Paimon understands. So, are you two willing to help me correct the imbalance in the water and soil? Very well. Yes, that's excellent. Your willingness is commendable, and one is quite grateful to you both. Now back to business. When it comes to how to resolve the disharmony in the soil and water, one is indeed well aware of what to do. First, you two must go up against the currents and seek the jade treasures thrown into the waters. In the end, we must perform the ancient rain jade rite once more, dispelling the miasma that has settled over the mountains and fields and into the rivers, and restoring the water veins and soil. Okay, got it. How do we do the ritual? Adeptus Fujin, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. As for the ritual, it's still a bit early for that. Well then, let's see each other later. And she's gone. According to her, we need to go against the current. That just means upstream, right? Hey, that's the same direction as Yilong Wharf. Let's go. I better be able to get this chest before I leave. Is that the Swanee? The Yilong Wharf. Well, and here we are, Yilong Wharf. My stroll lasted for 0.1 seconds. Is that the Fontanian? Though I don't understand it in the least, I still think it's amazing. Just watching her stand there singing, sing while walking around, sing while sitting, and sing when she lifts her head, and slowly lets it fall while ceaselessly singing. Really just don't know what kind of magical powers this old lady has. Babbling, chanting, singing, and reciting and crying. I haven't got a clue what she's saying, but it's amazing, little Mal, can you understand? Are you from Natland? That's just how opera singing is. And were there fight scenes later? That was that old dude who could do 88 flips and tricks. Riveting stuff. Yeah, it's great. It's just a shame that I don't understand a thing. A whole bunch of people fighting and jumping all over the place, all super flashy and such. One-on-one, several all fights at once, 5 or 6 taking turns. It's just almost addictive. Hello, we're looking for a technician from Fontaine. Chief Luo and Grandpa Lu said, what name did they give us? Haute Moon Tenyi. Yep, sounds like Grandpa Lu said you alright. Just call me Haute Monet. I'm a researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute. I'm the young lady of the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Yep, our young lady. Wait, that's not right. She's Farina and Paimon's Paimon. Anyway, it was Grandpa Lu sent us looking for you. Miss Traveler, Miss Paimon, hello. I'm Little Mao, a friend of mountains. Yes, that's what my name means. Hotmanai. Could be a bit hard to pronounce, so I asked Little Mao to just call me that. Really, quite the interesting bear. How'd you two meet? It was quite fortuitous. Last year I went to the mountains in the south for a spell and got lost in the fog. A huge beast the size of a Cal Etienne Louis was glaring at me, and I thought it was done for. But just then, a little kid suddenly shouted at me. I followed the sound through the mist and got out and was saved. Otherwise I would have been eaten. Just like that, and my family in Fontaine wouldn't even have been able to claim compensation on my account. I know more about what goes on in the mountains than the grown-ups. Is that so? You're amazing, Little Mao. Come on now, Grandpa Lu and Chef Luo are looking for you. Alright, got it. Be there in a jiffy. All the shows here are just too good. I ended up watching several, one right after the other, and now my legs have fallen asleep. But I just can't understand a word. What sort of stories are they telling? It's about how way back when a huge carp and a monster from the mountains fought. You kill me, I kill you story. In the end, everyone dies. That's a pretty concise summary. Don't talk about killing and dying so much, little Mao. Think about that kind of stuff too often, you might become the villain when you grow up. Since those in Qiaoying village are waiting on me, it's time to go. See you all later. Let's go watch the shows here again when you're about to head back to Fontaine. Okay, now that we get out of the puzzle. We can get back to business. Little Mao, how about you? What are you two going to do? Huh. To be honest, we're not quite sure how to explain it. The water and the soil in Chenyu Vale are all kinda out of whack, and we need to cure them for everybody in Chenyu Vale to get better. I get it. Paimon is trying to say we need to restore nature. That's right. You're really amazing, little Mao. You got it right away. Restoring nature, you say? Did somebody talk to you about that? That's right. A friend who always taken care of me told me. She wants to restore nature too. If we restore nature, everything will get better, so I want to help too. She also told me about you two. Oh, so you've seen her too. Huh. You mean my friend? Of course, silly Miss Paimon. How could we be friends if I'd never seen her? Fair point. That makes things easier. Actually, we went to Paimon. We need to find the jade treasures in the water and then do some rain jade right. But even though we've come upstream, we still haven't found any clues. Ah, I know. Come with me. I'll show you where to look. Is it really that easy? Little Mao, your friend wants to restore nature, right? Yeah, she told me a lot, such as stories from before Qiaoying Village became Qiaoying Village, how the tea trees came to be and more. She said that things will get worse and worse in Chenyu Vale if the natural order isn't restored. Oh, looks like we're on the same page then. Little Mao, you just said you knew where we could find leads, right? Yeah, I don't know if it'll help, but when you mentioned jade treasures and rain jade and stuff, I just thought of it. Come with me. Sure then. Gonna be some, store, isn't it? This is awkward. $1,000 more, huh? How incredulous. Well, I really don't have a better option than to just swim over there, huh? Here! Over here! Here we are, there's a cavern behind this waterfall. Try not to get soaked, you might catch a cold. Yeah, it's blocked off. How about you give that elemental energy a go? What do you want me to do? What am I supposed to do here? Oh, they seem a little loose. Be careful. Yeah, you're amazing, Miss Traveler. more water in here than before. Maybe I'll have to swim in next time.
This time your curiosity paid off, but don't get careless.
This is my secret base. You still camp here? You're incredible, but you need to stay safe. It's fine. My friend will protect me. This is it. This is the clue I want to show you before, right here. What on Tavad is that? It's so covered in moss the Paimon can't make heads or tails of it. Eh? It wasn't named Moss the last time I came here. No need to worry, little Mao. It's so humid here that no wonder there's moss growing everywhere. There must be a way to clear it away. Clean the mural. I mean, I could just be egregious. Look, traveler, look! It's a scene of ancient people attending a festival and performing a ritual. Pretty different from the festivals we have today, huh? Although the grown-ups in the city and the village have all said that the Lord of Geo is the first to arrive in Chenyu Vale, I've heard that the people in the picture actually got here even earlier than he did. People back then used to throw bits of magic jade into the river, and they'd float along until they sank to the bottom. They saw it as a way to guarantee good weather, prevent the river from flooding, and ensure that the soil would be fertile. Based on what we previously discussed, I'm guessing that Chenyu Vale will only be fixed after we found some jade that was thrown into the river in ancient times. That makes sense, doesn't it? Wow, you're so knowledgeable. Was your friend also the one who told you these stories? These legends are fascinating. Yep, and everyone will be really blessed and live happily after. And all that. But I much prefer hearing her stories about ancient wars and battles. She told me the warriors back then were all giants who were over 10 feet tall. Warriors of Chenyu Vale were covered in tattoos, and they had these massive jade axes that could chop a person in half in the blink of an eye. And the Millelith, led by none other than the Lord of Geo himself, were even tougher. They clad themselves in suits of armor that weighed over 1,000 pounds and fought with 100-pound spears. Apparently everyone was war back then, so much so that the Bishu River turned crimson red. Later on, the mountains to the south became full of ghosts from that era. Even now, those who wander through the mountains might still be able to catch their singing on the wind. I don't think these stories are meant for kids. Yeah, it sounds terrifying. Aunt Monte is right. You shouldn't dwell on this stuff all the time. Heh, there's no way grown-ups would tell us these stories. They only say we're too young to hear them. Then they'll just turn us rotten and stuff like that. I'm old enough already. Hearing a story is not going to turn me into a monster. Besides, there aren't many adults still around who have these stories anyway. If my friend hadn't told me, I wouldn't even known the stories about this picture. Okay, fine then. Guess we'll move on. So, the grown-ups were right to say those ancient people threw the jade into the river from somewhere high up, but where exactly? And where did all the jade float off to? Well, it must have sunk to the bottom, right? It's not that simple. If it was thrown somewhere upriver, and even if it sank to the bottom, it would still be pushed downriver by the current, let alone after so many years. Besides, I never heard talk of any ancient ritual jade being found upriver. Chenyu Vale is a small place, after all. If there had been such rumors, everybody would already know about them. You know so much, your future scholar material for sure. But what if I don't want to be a scholar? They don't earn much more, and it doesn't sound like fun. They become a traveler, just like us. What could be more fun than venturing around the world? Seeing as we now know the side of the rain jade, right, what should we do now? Let's observe how the river flows. If we want to see how the river flows, it would be a good idea to carry the tall watchtower over Yilong Wharf. You're a clever one, Miss Paimon. Okay, let's head out. Watchtower at Yilong. Look, from up here you can clearly see how the water moves faster through these narrows, then slows down again as the river winds out. The jade must have stopped there. We should find what we're looking for there. Wow, you're such a real whiz kid. Paimon's been wondering, though. What's that massive thing in the distance? That huge thing is the Jade Mouth, a legendary jade ring that an Adeptus threw into the water. Oh, but the river curves around there, so the current should actually speed up. But the river gradually gets wider there. Yeah, So the rapid flow around the bend might have resulted in things being deposited along the convex bank where it widens. So there's actually a good chance that the jade is at the bottom of the river somewhere around Jademouth. Of course, that's assuming that the course of the river hasn't been artificially altered. Not to mention, there's a fisherman's legend that goes something like, jade shall rise from sunken mouth, or something like that. Anyway, let's go over and take a look first. Compared to Little Mao, Paimon feels like she's completely out of her depth. Because my friend is amazing. She knows everything there is to know about the mountains, and she's taught me loads too, so I've learned so much. Don't worry too much about it, Paimon. You do. Whatever the case, let's go down and get on a bamboo raft. Jademouth, here we come. Hold the bamboo raft and go to the Jade. What are we calling a bamboo raft? The boat further down. Sure. Pardon me, sir. Bosu? Someone coming aboard? Wait, is that little Mao? Come, I'll take you. Alright, boatman, take us to the Jademouth. Alright, Jademouth it is. Other two, your tourists. Well, if you're ever sightseeing, there's not many locals who head that way. You could say that, Mr. Boatman. Are there any stories about the Jademouth that I haven't heard before? Knowing you and how much you love your stories, kiddo, you must have heard them all by now. Tell me more, tell me more. Alright then. I've heard it mentioned that Jademouth was left by Rex Lapis when he marched through here to save the people of Chenyu Vale. Legend has it to prevent a naval advance from downstream, local Adepti. Oh, making it up as you go again, Gramps. There's no way that Liyue's navy came up this river. I've heard that the Jademouth was formed by a piece of jade left by a giant carp. In those days, a baddie god tried to redirect the river to drown the mill stationed on both sides of the banks of Chenyu Vale, but a giant white snake and a giant carp who were her subordinates disobeyed her orders. The giant white snake held up the... Okay, she threw the jade she wore here. The jades pinned the river down, and ever since we've had no more floods. Everyone can live peaceful lives on both sides of the river. You might understand a lot, kiddo, but you haven't seen much. Take a closer look. There aren't any crops by this river. See, after it was pinned down by the jades, it's true that the river hasn't flooded, but also it has been great to provide irrigation for crops. So what was once a wide, gently flowing river is today a narrow, rapid-flowing torrent instead. Such a river leaves no sustenance for the earth on its banks. And of course, that also means no people living peaceful lives on both sides. I don't guess it now, but did you say the Adepti were resisting the Lord of Geo, Little Mao? That's how it was all that time ago. Some people believe that the first Lord of all Liyue was Rex Lapis. But in Chenyu Vale, we believe that before he came, there were other gods and Adepti who protected our ancestors. I've heard Grandpa Lu say that the tea ceremony is actually for the carp Adeptus who planted our first tea tree. Oh, but aren't these Adepti meant to be the baddies? They were serving under a baddie god, after all. In some stories they're the baddies, while in others there's the goodies. But it was all such a long, long time ago. Even the grown-ups don't remember much, so they always try to bluff me. Telling about that friend of yours again? How can such supernatural beings be held to our simple codes of right and wrong? As far as we're concerned, all the forces that have ever been blessed and protected this land deserve our offerings. There you go again. Alright. Time to get off. We're here. Thanks, Gramps. Here. This is the Jademouth. That's a huge hunk of jade, and even the other pieces on it are massive. Whoever it was that threw it down, Adeptus or not, must have been absolutely titanic. Adepti come in all shapes and sizes. They could be as tall as the clouds or small enough to hide amidst pool and leaf. How'd the rest of it go? In the Jademouth we go. Well, here's the jade mouth, but how are we going to find all that jade underwater? Ah, so that's how it is. The spring cries ripple through the vales, the shrines depart from northeast shores. The heights and shallows in the southwest hide, sun and earth from other divide. The eternal whirlpool that never churns, the beautiful jade concealed within. What's that little mouse singing about? It sounds pretty complicated. It's one of our local folk songs. I heard an old granny singing it as she was gathering herbs. It means if you look from the center of the river to the banks on either side, you'll see two stone shrines hidden to the northeast and the southwest. Those shrines keep the mighty whirlpool in the center suppressed. So the jade's all hidden beneath the whirlpool? Yep, sounds like we're going treasure hunting. Hooray! The area between the northeast and southwest is so huge. After all, in a broad sense, the northeast and southwest of Jademouth can include pretty much the whole world. You're always thinking outside the box, Miss Paimon, but there's no need to worry. I already have an idea where the shrines will be, because my friend told me. Come on, let's roll. No question. Does anyone else think that a giant maelstrom suddenly appearing here might not be a great idea? Oh yeah, won't that mean that boats will no longer be sailing in and out of Yulong Wharf? Oh, don't worry about that. My friend told me that once we're completely done what we need to beneath, the whirlpool will disappear completely. Otherwise, how could all the old boatmen carry on making a living? Wow, so it's not just a smart whirlpool, but a considerate one to boot. Let's get going, then. Alright. Investigate the stone shrine. I do assume it's up. Looking for a stone shrine. Aha! Adeptal energy, you say? If I had to guess, I need another one of those. The indication... I see. Well, guess that settles it. Not just for me. Wow, you're amazing. Even my friend couldn't do anything about the shrine. I try my best. Stand back, little Mao.
It all adds up. It all falls into place. Can't hide the truth. Insulation chamber deployed.
Go claw!
Accelerating.
I need reinforcements, you say.
Ultimatum protocol. Defensive mode engaged.
Ready?
The wrong test subject.
Go claw! Ding dong water!
Preparing for dust up.
Come here, you.
Initiating categorization process.
Go back beneath the jade. Spring cries ripple through the vales, the shrines depart from northeast shores, the heights and shallows in the southeast hide. Sun and earth from each other divide, the eternal whirlpool that never churns. We have found the two shrines the legend speaks of, and it seems that they too are related to our ancestors in the mountains. The meaning of the folk song mentioned above remains unclear. We don't have a clue what to do here. We're just running around like headless chickens. Everyone's got really worked up when they hear that our comrades excavating and shipping antiques were already making big mora. Who knows how much longer we'll have to stick around here. In it for a dime, in it for a dollar. You know what they say. In for a penny, in for a pound. Huh, we haven't seen the whirlpool from the song yet. What should we do next? How about giving that adeptal energy of yours a try, traveler? How do you mean? You just want me to use elemental energy? What's that supposed to mean? Oh. There's a secret area underneath here? Quick, look! The whirlpools appeared just like the song said!
Cleanup sequence initiated.
Oh, you're not wrong. A golden carp!
Accelerating.
Fujin? Is that you?
Accelerating.
Hey, Fujin. Traveler in Paimon, we meet again. And who might this be? Huh? You haven't met before? This is little Mao. He's helped us so much along the way. No, we haven't met before, but you must be a good child, little Mao. Hello, and yes, that's me, miss. Are you an Adeptus? You are, aren't you? This is Adeptus Fujin. Thanks for all the help you've given the Traveler in Paimon, little Mao. It's really the legendary Fujin in the flesh. I can't believe this. I've heard so many stories about you. Now that I know you're not some kind of big slippery carp, but a lady instead, like a big sister. Big carp? I don't know if you've been listening, what kind of stories you've been listening to, little Mao. One is indeed an Adeptus, and as such can take forms as one pleases. This particular form seemed most approachable for conversing with humans. From what you've said, you have a very unique scent, little Mao. Have you met someone in the mountains before? Someone with golden eyes and a fair complexion, perhaps? Not exactly. Big Sis Fusion, you're not talking about some of your other friends, are you? My friend from the mountains doesn't sparkle like you do. But she's also really cool. She told me tons and taught me loads. So it was her, after all. So your friend wasn't Adeptus Fusion after all, huh? Big Sis Fusion's my friend now too, isn't she? Of course, Little Mao. Glad to have made friends with you. Little Mao's met other Adepta? As for whether Little Mao's friend counts an Adeptus or not, I'm not quite sure myself. After all, Adeptus is merely a title. It's hard to say whether Adepti are even people. The word Adeptus is just like any other word, such as hero, villain, or idiot. No one is born Adeptus, and no one shall remain an Adeptus forever. That's true. So you've met that friend of Little Mao's that we were just talking about, right? Indeed, but it's been a long time since I last saw her, so now I suspect that I don't know her half as well as Little Mao does. I'm not even sure if I still count as her friend. His friend wants to restore nature, too. I would imagine so. Anyway, I must ask you all to please take this piece of votive rain jade. I had originally hoped it might remain here, the same as it ever was, but I never expected it to grow quite so large. I used to love it so. This rain jade you just mentioned, does it rain down or make it rain or something? Of course not. After the great changes in our geology, the ancestors of the people of Chenyu Vale lost their ability to communicate with the heavens, lost the guidance of emissaries whose beauty was pure as moonlight. Henceforth they began to take jade, which glowed as gently as the light of the moon, and cast it into the river. As they did this, they would pray for good omens, for fertile land, for clement weather, for their riverbanks to hold strong. Over time, these rituals grew in power, until one day... What happened next? One day, the long war to become the gods who would reign over this world began. Afterward, this tradition lost all its meaning, but though it was forgotten, its name is still passed down over generations. To cut the long story short, this piece of votive rain jade before us was the very last one to ever be thrown. Just as the part above the surface, when commanded by an adeptal art, can be made large enough to stop a flood, its core too has been swollen by uncontrolled adeptal energy. Much of its power is dissipated into the surrounding area through the spirit veins. This power may have also affected the nearby flora and fauna, attracting and even making aberrations of them. You must be careful. As far as I can tell, the adeptal energy that is dissipated should be sufficient to reawaken the hibernating votive rain jade. If that is the case, we're one step closer to achieving our goal of nursing the water and soil back to health. How should I say this? Traveler and Paimon, thank you both. You're doing amazing things by choosing to help me, you know. And Little Mao, will you help me too? Will you help out your big sis? Of course, I want to restore nature too. Is that so? Well, that's good. Very smart, Little Mao. You'll understand everything later. Alright, let us go our separate ways for now. Once you've retrieved the adeptal-filled votive rain jade, we'll meet again by a deep pool shrouded in cloud and mist to the south. South? Got it. She's gone. Disappeared again. Oh well, let's just leave. Let's just do what Big Sis Fusion said and restore this voting rain jade's power. Speaking of which, what's it got to do with voting? See, you're not that much brighter than Paimon. It's a votive. Oh, right. So it's complicated. It is complicated. Well, since you mentioned it, what does votive even mean? Why is it called rain jade again? Exactly! What does it mean? I don't know why I went with this voice for this kid. I like the scattered adeptal energy. Hello, hilly churl. Take a spear to the head. Bye. Sure, it suddenly got bigger. Is this the adeptal energy that was being talked about?
Installation chamber deployed.
See ya. Right, there's one. That'd be two. Get over here. No more running.
Cleanup sequence initiated.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, don't have a healer in this team.
Leave a scar. New material discovered. Records updated.
Go back to where you belong.
Accelerating. Accelerating. Insulation chamber deployed. Accelerating. Lush as the moonlight.
More reinforcements, huh?
Ultimatum protocol.
That's fine. Got this all day. Hey, Sankilla, how's it going? Been a while. Free the little guy. Yes, we do often play with Sealy. Can't say it typically goes well. They make us chase them around like headless monkeys.
Perhaps this treasure has been waiting for you all along.
Looks like we need a pyro character, so let's get Yoimiya to activate these bows. Or to activate them with her bow.
Let's go out and play.
Really? Well, I guess they're on a timer then. Turn to the votive range. It is indeed moving. Looks like the jade's starting to move. Starting, Paimon? That's right, but according to the story, the riverbed should have lots of other Vodafrene jades. Why does Bix's fusion only want this one? Look, it's shining as if it's resonating with the Adeptal energy on you. Why don't we try using that power? Sure. Well, something happened. I should do it. Wow, it suddenly became small. Yeah, Paimon did think it just changed size like that. Guess that's a millennial treasure for you. It's just like you said, little mouth. They could be as tall as clouds or small enough to hide amidst pool and leaf. Yeah, it looks like the vote of Rain Jade's in our hands now. You're so reliable, traveler. Miss Paimon's amazing. So you're going to take us to that deep pool shrouded in cloud and mist to the south now, right? Remember that place Mountain mentioned? The spot where we met? That place is super foggy, and I know of a secret cavern that leads there. Even the other locals don't know about it. It's my friend who showed me the way, and since you're my friend too, Paimon, I'll tell you about it. Your friend in the mountains, are they connected to Adeptus Fusion? She's told me a lot of stories, and quite a few of them were about Big Sis Fusion. Alright, let's go. Take us away. This is how we get to that little area that I have yet to get into. This wouldn't surprise me. In the cave. Traveler, Paimon! Mal, behind you. Hello. Wait, your friend, you say? That's right, I told you before I had lots of friends, didn't I? Well, I just happened to meet her, so I got a hold of her to introduce you. Hello. Friend's a little mouse. She's afraid of strangers. I usually call her Bluey because I don't really know her name. Don't worry about that. Traveler and Paimon are great people. They've been accompanying me on adventures. They're real experts in mountains and forests, too. I know, I've seen. Answer me this one thing. When did you gain the power to suppress nature? Suppress nature? Plants pursue the sunlight and fertile soil, creating fruit fit for the birds and beasts to consume. The digested seeds are scattered, and those which consume seed and fruit become bait for predators. Thus does everything return to the land. The snake hid in the branches, the fish in the mountains, and the beasts of the forest. Traveling in the realm of nature is wonderful, so why have you come? Oh, come on, Bluey, you don't have to be so fierce. You raised 2 questions. My adeptal energy comes from Adeptus Fusion. Our goal is to nurse the soil and water in Chenyu Vale. Exactly, something's off about Chenyu Vale's natural conditions, so Adeptus Fusion enlisted our help. If we don't, well, the tea leaves in Qiaoying village are going to turn out worse and worse, and the village itself might decline. That's why she wanted us to perform the Rain Jade Rite, which will restore the area. The Rain Jade Rite, I see. You have answered 2 of my questions. You may ask me 2 also. Do you know Adeptus Fusion? Yes, I know Fusion. New tea leaves taste better, more like before. Well, actually, don't worry about Paimon. She's like that. Sometimes when I'm not looking, she'll just vanish into the shadow of the trees. Then at others, the sun might dazzle me, or the birds might call overhead, and there she is. In any case, guess we're all friends now. Nice. Oh, I'm none other than the young lady of the Feiun Commerce Guild. Huh? An actual prison for that? They just wouldn't let me go out, make me watch movies, force me to read books, and I wouldn't get to play in the mountains anymore. So I never told anybody, but you're my friend, so it's fine. Anyway, come with me. In we go! Well, considering we're about to get into a very combat-heavy area, I think you and me, maybe doesn't make the most sense to bring you with multiple missing artifacts and everything. So, Farina, let's bring you back out.
I knew you'd miss me.
Truly.
Shower me with praise. Splendid! More interesting trinkets for me.
Take care of the nearby Mayas. Huh? Where's the Thaumatrope? Oh. You may have shields, but I have lightning!
Branch into song.
There we go.
Perhaps this treasure has been waiting for you all along.
So we got another mural. This wasn't here yesterday. It's what they call nature. Originally, I didn't know either, but I figured out today after hearing Big Sis Fujin's story. This must be the stuff that happened before the mural on Mount Lingmane was made. See this? Long, long ago, people were able to talk to the gods and Adepti in the skies by talking to that big piece of jade in the middle. The emissary of the gods would lead and protect them. See, that's gotta be the shiny golden person standing in the middle. I bet that was a super amazing person. But later, just like Big Sis Fujin said, something changed and the people of Chenyu Vale lost their guiding emissary. And they couldn't talk to the heavens any longer. That's how the Rain Jade Rite came about. Your story does make sense. Thanks. What do you think, Traveler? That's a distinct possibility. Come to think of it, our ancestors were pretty amazing themselves, huh? The jades they left to us still have the power to restore nature. For something this old to still be so strong, the past must have been a sweller time than the present, huh? That's not true. Leaving the accumulated detritus of the past in its wake. That's a really cool thought. Never thought about it that way. You know what? Not thinking about this stuff is all pretty awesome too. I bet you'll be just like my big sister when you grow up, just having fun adventuring everywhere. Not blood-related, but she's worked here in Chenyu Vale for a while. She'd go up in the mountains and run around the rivers, and I'd follow her. We discovered this little cave together. She said this cave is my Rubicon, not that I know what that means. Wonder where she's off adventuring nowadays. Can't wait to receive my next letter from her. On we go. Oh hey, Fujin. One was quite concerned that the swirling miasmas and fierce beasts that roam might have caused you ill, but one sees that it is not so, and that is good. Thanks to the adeptal energy you possess, Traveler, one has been connected to the golden carp here, thus gaining the means to speak with you directly. Traveler, Paimon, Little Mao, please come with me. Very well. Oh, so this is how we get in here. Oh.
Receive my blessing. Stay
I see now. I just need to stay next to you and I can walk on the water. Got it. Much time has passed since I last emerged here. This was once a lively place filled with the aroma of incense. Then the three of us could travel freely across the mountains and rivers. Yes, those were days like flowing water neath the moon, dark yet sparkling, oh so brightly. But enough reminiscing. Thanks to all of you, I am now able to return here and host the Rain Jade Rite. So you're that person in the mural? That person standing on the mountain hugging that egg, that was you, wasn't it? An egg? Come now, little man, that was precious jade. Casting Rain Jade is a ritual of great power. The vote of Rain Jade can calm rivers, improve the weather, but can also be a thing of death and slaughter. Only the thinnest line separates curses and the adeptal energies that have aided you till now. That is why I must make sure the right does not fall into the hands of those who would do it ill. That's why. Yes, that is correct. One was indeed a figure who hugged the egg in that mural. It's a fusion. Doesn't make you pretty, ancient. Yes, it does. Still, I do like the name Big Sis. It does make me feel quite young. Well, being called Adeptus is pretty alright too, right? Well, certainly, even though with other titles my such, I'm aware that I'm hardly the equal of true Adepti like Mountain Shaper and the rest. Thanks for coming, Angela Wright. Welcome to the stream. I am in truth the weakest of my band of friends. I cannot make medicines to save others, nor can I bound across the mountains and plains. Even so, I could not simply lay the title down. Would have done the people of Chenyu Vale a disservice, I fear. Still, you may call me whatever you wish. After all, we have become friends, or so I would say. In any case, my days of being called an Adeptus are now consigned to history, just like this place has been. Once the Rain Jade Rite was a day of great celebration, where we would commemorate the Year of Abundance. Using laughter, firecracker battles, and beast dances, to frighten the ill omens away. This must appear like naught but forgotten ruins to the modern mind. People in Qiaoying village told us that the mighty Adeptus Fujin who defeated the demons and planted the first tea tree. Back on the bamboo raft, Grandpa Lu also mentioned that the offerings of tea were to a certain carp. Wasn't there that opera sung at Yilong Wharf about the carp going around killing stuff? You were so awesome in those stories, Big Sis Fujin. Also, people still do the wushu dance, you know. You said it yourself. The definition of an Adeptus is. Also, putting definitions aside, you're our friend, Fujin. You shouldn't be constantly fretting about the right and stuff. You should live happily, like we're companions on an adventure. That's right. We're on an adventure together. Right. Yes, you're right. Thank you. That was well said. Indeed, I was the one who asked for your help. Wouldn't do if I just continued wallowing in the past, now would it? In any case, I'll need your help to prepare for the rite itself. In any case, have you encountered any sacred simulacra in your adventures? Those were ritual spirits often used by the people in ancient times to protect their homes. There should be some nearby. Traveler, Paimon, Little Mao, please help me put the simulacra in their proper places. That way we can restore the spirit veins used in the Rain Jade Rite. I will. I have faith in you. Sacred simulacra. During the earliest festivals, people didn't know how they should carve the statues. The products turned out into a real mess. Even that friend of mine couldn't help but burst into laughter upon seeing it. Oh, sorry about that. I got lost in the past again. Just don't stay in it. And you'll be fine. Here for the Rain Jade Rite.
Accelerating.
Unfortunately, Angela Wright, I am unfortunately going to be busy for the rest of the day, so I'm unfortunately unable to help you. I do apologize. This is help. Wrong one. That's fine.
Accelerating.
Alright, one more. All gather the river shrine, subdue the scarlet. The river, all three sides grant order. Night enclosure jades when the six. Okay. Get the alien, maybe that'll help. Come along, little seedling. Back to fusion. Sacred simulacra are all ready. That's good at least. Thank you both. The votive rain jade have been returned to its priests, and the statues have come back to their rightful places. The rain jade rite is now ready to be performed. But will Chenyu Vale really recover once you cast the rain jade in? That's right. Sorry. That's right. Things will get better for us, little Mao. Nature, jade, humans. All is divinely dictated. The changes in the land and water in Chenyu Vale, the malicious fog in the spirit veins, they are all essentially a sign of the earth moving against the flow of time. Yeah, so that miasma-looking thing is a manifestation of environmental disorder? That's right. You can think of it like Chenyu Vale's attempt to, how you put it, return to nature. What we intend to do here is to treat the landed soil and rid it of this sickness. After all, before humans left their caves and mountains to dominate the world and regulate nature, and before Chenyu Vale or Bishu River got those names, the lands, mountain, and river had their own order. You and I sometimes miss the cool mountain streams and the great rivers that would ebb and flow with the seasons. I was once a mere fish that swam. If we let nature seize control of its order once more, the people of Chenyu Vale will suffer and languish. I hope you can understand. Yeah. In that case... patterns almost remind me of a Neopala lotus. Oh. Swanee, did it work? Something didn't. That thing in the fog just now. It seems I am too feeble in my current state. Very sorry, it's not your fault. I need more power to overcome this trial. As the adeptal energy in the votive rain jade has dissipated into the spirit veins, so has my power also left me across and along the years. Golden carp. Where you found a few golden carp, I could not even muster the strength to appear. Initially, I thought we just needed to gather all the ritual implements, and that would be enough to make up for the deficiency in my power. I was not entirely open with you before, but neither the present nor past me was anywhere near a match for the Adepti of the South. I feared you would consider me weak and unworthy of your help. Huh? There's no way we'd abandon or not make friends with you just because of that. But I, the young lady, consider you a friend is not conditional on your status as an Adepti. I think that whole young lady bit I'm on wanted to say the same thing. My friend told me lots of stories about you. In my mind, even though we've just met, we were already friends, and I also wanted you to be happy. All right. Thank you, all of you. So where should you start looking for these golden carp? Believe that you will have to go to Vale. There will be a cavern there with a golden carp hidden within. You chilling here for the meantime? No? Okay. Swanee, we're going to have a talk, because you're not helping. At all. Just want to point that out. You're not helping in the slightest.
Yep. Strike a pose. Someone help me.
You're fine.
Installation chamber deployed.
Oh, Hilly Troll Road. Hi.
Branch into song. Shower me with praise.
Please, everyone, do enter.
Splendid.
Is this your abode?
Interesting trinkets for me.
Suppose you could consider this place as the Herb Lord and I may. Either way, I hope the Sacred Simulacra will cause no problem. Ranch she planted keeps growing. It seems the water and soil in the cave are quite nutritious. Maybe in a few years, once it grows a little bigger, that medicine jar will be too small for this young tree. She connected the door opening mechanism with the jar the branch is planted in, breathing life and giving life-giving adeptal energy into said mechanism. Seems the jar containing the mechanism was damaged a long time ago. I wonder if the door can still open and close. Seems like I gotta get in there.
Yep.
Content is blurry. As baby butterflies converge in the jar, the adeptal energy surges anew. Akin to new life restored to a withered tree. Go west and behold Lingshu Courtyard and blank. You seem to only care that I'm up here, so... What else is there over here that I'm missing? Ah. So I need to get you from over here and bring you there? I feel like you're gonna despawn. Alright. When in a master's study, remember not to touch the stone slate. It's something very important to the master. Zhang Wall. Fusion. No, looks like I'm not cleaning that up. We're here, Big Sis Fusion. Have you been waiting for us here all this time? No. After leaving Carp's Rest, I can only appear in places in which my power remains. And only by the grace of your elemental adeptal energy, Farina. In the gap in the middle of that mural originally had somebody to win with the golden carp mural in it? Not sure. This is the first time seeing this mural as well. Huh? Sure, you've all heard of the battles that took place in the past. I am merely a minor Adeptus of Chenyu Vale. I know little about any wars concerning this Conria. The Archon War? Yes, this cave was one of the shelters we built for the inhabitants of Chenyu Vale. Such that the innocents caught in the crossfire when the floods overturned the heavens and earth split open could have a place of safety. I didn't expect that they'd draw a mural here, though. I believe the ones depicted to me. Big slippery carp, Little Mao mentioned, and a friend. If that's the case, then why did the most important part get taken somewhere else? That's true, why is that? Perhaps the satisfaction that 3 of us were once great friends, with 2 of us becoming worshipped as Adepti, and one of us was always the mountain's master. Later, Herblord and I defected together. She most likely died too, or perhaps the one among us who fought to the last never submitted and only heard news of us afterward. Perhaps to her we were all traitors, with the depictions of myself and Herblord becoming an object for her to vent her fury against. Is that really the case? The painting outside looks like... Who knows, in any case, it's all in the past. So please lend me your strength in nursing Chenyu Vale back to health. I can feel that there's another golden carp lingering where I used to. Near Mount Xuanlin, I believe. If we get that one, I should have enough strength to perform the ritual. Speaking of that, I must apologize for being able to control the golden carp even with you nearby. That must have given you some trouble swimming through the air like that. That's fine. I think you think of them like Sealy. Really, where is the golden carp that should be here? Well, inside the painting. Just use your adeptal energy to awaken it. You know what Fusion said? We should use adeptal energy to draw out the carp. I hope you're not expecting me to be able to get up there. Go to Mount Xuanlin. Very well. Ancient sacrifice of sacred brocade. Onward we go. There's a pavilion here on this mountain. It's rather Adepti style. Paimon wonders whether we'll find that huge golden carp. This place is kind of huge. Maybe we can do what we did last time, Travel at the bit where you used adeptal energy on the mural and the carp turned out to be hiding inside. Look, Travel, there's 4 stone carp statues here. There might be 4 giant carps hiding inside. I don't know, but there seems to be something missing inside. Looks like there's an orb inside these carp statues. Didn't we find some statues of carps and large pearls on our way down the mountain? Maybe those are actually used for something. Worth a shot. Spirit orb. Down we go.
Receive my blessing. Cleanup sequence initiated.
I think this is how this works.
Shower me with praise.
Now what? One spirit orb down.
Take it. Go on. You. Strike a pose.
Two. And on to 3. Alright, let's put him in the cart and see what happens.
Splendid. More interesting treat. For me.
Up we go. My apologies for the poor hospitality. It's been a long time since I last enjoyed tea with others. Hopefully my brewing skills have not deteriorated too much over time. I have some experience in appreciating tea. It's also thanks to this that I was able to tell that this year's tea offering smelled off. That's how I discovered the trouble with the soil and water quality. It's like it wasn't some sort of meaningless tradition after all. I suppose now I can tell those who fail to appreciate the value of tea about its value with confidence. Come, traveler, have some tea. Is this your teapot fusion? Yeah, there was that time in Liyue Harbor where we fixed Madame Ping's teapot. If you think about it, we have quite a connection with tea. Madame Ping? I believe I know of whom you speak. We were acquainted back in the day along with her friends. As little Mouse said, I was once just a giant carp, unable to leave fresh water for too long, or live in salty waters. As such, they sent me one of these teapots, so my friends would be able to take me. Sent my teapot, of course, to Whaley Plains and Liyue Harbor to meet those lovely people they spoke of. Fortunately, such a time never quite came. Traveler, Paimon, you've been to Liyue Harbor. Could you tell me more about the city? I'd like to hear about it too. I've never been. Well, Traveler would like to start from One-Man Restaurant. It is a port city nestled against the mountains. He began, only for Fusion to interrupt you. She knows she'd like to hear your Liyue story. You understand and begin again. When we arrived in Liyue Harbor, Paimon and I were just in time for the rite of dissension. The child Adeptus before you listened to your words and Paimon's incessant interjections, leaning forward as you speak, exclaiming in shock and relaxing as the tension of the tale rises and falls. They also had their own commentary and questions about Liyue, such as the food and flavors available at restaurants, the toys the old lady sells, the gems and jewelry of Feiyun Slope, and such. Much as Fusion, Little Mao, and Paimon be so moved by the tale. Along this journey we met many friends, and experienced so many things. It was all worth it. Wow, a sea monster, huh? 2, actually. Liyue Harbor is not what I imagined. Oh no, just different. Being different doesn't make it bad. I like the Liyue Harbor you described. It's good to hear that after all this time, our dear Herb Lord was able to find a home there. I think that's simply wonderful. What about you, Little Mao? Could you tell me about you and your friend? I'm curious to know what she's like. Sure. Paimon and Traveler have met her already, so it wouldn't be fair if I didn't tell you. That's how we met. At that time, I was still a little kid who didn't know anything about the mountains. It was nighttime, and some wild beasts were following me through the forest. It was super scary. Finally, I was chased to a clearing, surrounded by those beasties. For a moment, I was convinced I was going to get eaten, but suddenly they all backed off in the woods, and they were gone. When I looked back, there she was, looking at me. She was like jade, but there was a dignity to her. I knew it then that she was the master of the mountain that my grandparents had told me about. I wasn't scared, I just told her. Finally found you. I've been looking for you for so long. I don't know why, but she lowered her head as though in thought before walking off. She made no noise as she did so. I listened as hard as I could, but there were no sounds of anything stepping on branches or falling on leaves. After that, I would sometimes catch sight of her moving between trees in a flash. Sometimes the rising moonlight would outline her shadow as she stood atop a high mountain. At that time, I thought it was strange. Why hadn't I seen her before? She was always there, after all. I wanted to talk to her, but she would always turn and leave. It was only later that she became willing to talk to me. Much later on, she would take me up very high mountains and into very deep forests. She asked me lots of questions, and in exchange she told me lots of stories. Beginning, Qiaoying village was a nameless barren mountain, and the rivers had a real temper. Sometimes they'd flood, and other times they would all but wither. And on that barren mountain, she made 2 friends, a fish and a snake. Later, the snake was cut into pieces, and the fish sank into the sea. And then only Bluey was left. Thank you, Little Mao. So, don't tell anyone about my friend, alright? Of course we won't. You seem quite familiar with this friend of Little Mao's, Fusion. Indeed, but that was all in my past life. Many, many years have passed since I could no longer move freely. I suspect that I might not recognize her any longer, though from Little Mao's words, she might have changed too much. Perhaps that's the most not accurate way of phrasing it. I did not utterly perish, but I did lose my original form, and my strength and wisdom dissipated into the spirit, along with the spirit veins. This is also why I invited you and Farina to Carp's Rest. If we were not there, I would not have been able to have a form to show you or a voice with which to speak to you. It's thanks to you that I've been able to slowly regain my previous strength. Coming here once more and seeing these scenes with my own eyes, meeting old friends from the past, and more importantly, making new friends. I'm very glad. How did you die? My memories of that have grown foggy. The Herb Lord and I were both servants of another god. And it was I that organized the Range 8 rite, administering the rivers and mountains for our Lord. As for the other, she was, as she is, a beast, wild and free. Those peaceful days, I also climbed waterfalls to Mount Aokong and Mount Hulao. There I met with the Adepti, whose powers and wisdoms far eclipsed mine. Of course, that was all before the war. Our Lord was not a heinous being by any means. Once upon a time, she made many dreams come true. If there was any evil, it was the Archon War itself. What happened next needs no further explanation on my part, I'm sure. You talked about how you and the Herb Lord defected. That's right. That might have been the bravest thing we've ever done. Our Lord had all but gone mad seeking the position of a god who may rule this world. Or perhaps seeking survival. Either way, she lacked the power to overcome Morax. So in a final desperate gamble, she caused the Bishu River to flood, hoping to destroy everything downstream. Of course, she knew what that would mean for Chenyu Vale and its people. Perhaps that's just what war does to people. Either way, that was our final adventure as a trio of friends. Ying Yuan attacked people with her familiars, herding them to a shelter we had prepared. Herb Lord fought against our mistress, while I climbed Mount Lingmeng and hurled the votive rain jade into the rising waters. Of course, that wasn't a proper rain jade, right? It was simply the release of the Adeptal energies stored within the jade pendant to have the earth open its maw and swallow the rivers, and allow the jade mouth to grow and stabilize the flow. Didn't Little Mao tell you how it ended? Yeah. That's enough about the past. We should get back to performing the rite itself. Truth, you've already found it, as with the previous one. That's how I was able to appear before you. It's just that I missed the scenery here a bit too much, so I couldn't help but have a long chat with you. After all, your sense of time and mine are not the same, and you won't tarry long once your objectives are complete, will you? As such, I apologize. Please forgive my capriciousness.
Splendid! More interesting trinkets for me.
Alright, let's go back and look for Fusion. This will be interesting, because this is actually, I believe, the last part of the map in terms of grayed out areas that I have never unlocked. But my power is still a far cry from how it was in the past. Thanks to your aid, I've regained much strength. Thank you. Next, we need to perform the ceremony. It's been thousands of years since we last performed it, and the mountains, rivers, and spirit veins have all changed a great deal. If all goes well, the votive rain jade will resolve the issue. Let's begin. Cutscene? Kind of. Must thus the fog disperse? Fog is dissipating. Like in the mural. Do you remember Paimon? The one with the two golden people and something in between them. Behold the sacred mountain. In my era, to merely climb it was already to transgress. But the ancestral inhabitants of this place are gone, and the communing path lies waste and broken. Who shall judge us now? That is where the spirit veins of Chenyu Vale converge. Through it, I can transmit my adeptal energy through the veil, restoring its water and its soil. We're only one step off from achieving our goal. Are you prepared? Let's do it. Trials of Lishan. Are you going to take me to the teleport waypoint? Yeah, I didn't think you'd take me all the way up there. Or put more aptly, I would have been very surprised if that's what you did. In the secret mountain. We up to here. Should be able to hit that. Why climb when you can cart? Hey, Fontaine. How you doing over there?
Showering you with praise.
Really? I was just here. What do you mean? What did I not trigger? Oh. Over there.
Preparing for dust up. Accelerate.
Branch is a song. Yeah.
Lash attack. Ultimatum protocol. Let the world collide. Stop fusion.
An endless wave of enemies.
Annihilation mode. Defensive mode engaged.
There we go. Under lava troll.
Strike a pose.
Leave this place.
Cleanup sequence initiated. Preparing for dust up.
Get hit with the giant fist of death.
Estimating value of acquired items.
Got you covered, Fusion. Up we go. I think it doesn't I'm gonna have to fight the solitary Swanee. AKA Bluey. Hello. Ling Yuan, I perceived it would be you, and I do miss you so, but this really might be a bad time. So Bluey's name is Ling Yuan? Ling Yuan? Don't be like that. Speak with me. The opportunity to speak will come, but it is not now. You know this. I know this, but I cannot allow it. Wait just a while longer. It will end soon. I do not like the things up there, but it does not matter. Just leave it to me, Fusion. Do not come up here.
Luscious
Company Fusion. Where'd you go, Fusion? Anyway. Qiaoying Terrace. I'm quite sorry for not being completely frank with you earlier. Though I became aware of it during our travels, I did not wish to believe that Ling Yan would be the source of the storm that buffets Chenyu Vale. An inkling already. She, her lord, and I once defended Chenyu Vale together. To think that she would do something so wicked. Her disruption of the spirit veins has caused the miasma to propagate. The one who stopped me from performing the rite the first time was also her. What makes this fusion? Ling Yuan isn't a bad person. I know, little Mao. She is your friend. At this time, she is the greatest threat to Chenyu Vale. She controls this sacred mountain. She will wield the power to completely alter the land of Chenyu Vale in the blink of an eye. I fear that Ling Yuan has already entered Qiaoying Terrace before us. She means to rewrite the flow and path of the spirit veins. We have little time left. Traveler, you have mastered the adeptal energy available here in Chenyu Vale. Ling Yuan and her familiars will not be your match. Please accompany me for a time and aid me for the sake of the people in Chenyu Vale. I will perform a ritual and open up the way to Qiaoying Terrace. Please stay by my side and protect me.
Strike a pose!
Go, my minions!
Installation chamber deployed. Annihilation.
Hammer Fist!
Branch into song.
Why won't you listen to me? Why will you not wait? Your strength is feeble, you cannot match me, but do not worry, you will soon recover. Ling Yuan, say no more. Traveler and I will stop you. We will stop this plan to destroy Chenyu Vale. The ritual is complete. The gate to Qiaoying Terrace is now open. The world seems to spin for a moment, and when you open your eyes, you're once again already above the clouds. Alright, Swanee. I'd say it's more of a lost lion if we're gonna go for that kind of thing, but you know.
Preparing for dust-up.
See ya. Give up. Ling Yuan. Human, let me tell you what you shall do. Fire arrows at my heart. If you approach up close, strike me with your sword. I will fight you to the last. You are the only one here who can fight. When I have crushed your neck, I will triumph. I do not intend to kill you. Why? I do not understand. You're Fusion's friend. Fine, you may ask me one question. And let us exchange questions. Little Mao, do you have any questions? Why do you have to fight? Can't we all be friends? And you, Fusion, you have not the strength to form two legs of your own. Yet you wish to walk in their form and speak to me. But how can humans and wild beasts ever be friends? If that's the case, why didn't you let those beasts eat me back then? If humans and beasts can't be friends and you're a beast, you should have helped me. My actions are sometimes beyond my own understanding. You are merely fortunate. Well, then why didn't you just eat Mountain as well? She almost bumped into you while lost in the fog at the foot of the mountain. I saw. You humans possess a wisdom that even nature submits to your will. In that case, you tell me, why didn't I eat her? Mount Lai Shin is dear to Adeptus Fusion. Let's assume you are correct. She told me much about the Range Aid, right? Perhaps those memories affected my actions. You actually remember everything I told you. Every year before the rite, you would tell me and that white snake how expectant you were and how nervous, and after the rite, you would tell us how the festivities were so fun and lively. You would always speak, and I could not help but listen. Only humans forget. I forget nothing. You have cleared this doubt of mine. Now you may ask a question. Well, Adeptus Fusion, do you have any questions? Thank you, Traveler. Just a while back, Ling Yuan, I was telling them stories about our past. Why do you wish to wreck Chenyu Vale, which we once fought so hard to protect? You planted tea trees, promising to enjoy tea with us. This too I remember, but that sort of tea no longer exists. I want to change this land. I want to make it like it was all those millennia ago. You have walked with humans for too long. You have forgotten that you, I, and the snake all came from nature. I knew that you were never truly perished, and you did not depart this place like the snake. So I wish to change this place to the form where it had been when you were born all these years. I have been slowly adjusting the spirit veins. Side effects. In the end, the process will change the soil, the waters, and the forest to what they should have been. But the soil, waters, and forest should have been. You truly have forgotten the past. The rivers rose and fell with the rains, and their paths were not fixed. Tea trees and flowers were not trimmed or cultivated, nor did they exist for humanity. In such an environment, you would regain your old form and frolic once more in the great rivers. You would regain your strength. Spiritual power blanketed the land in those days. The wild shrubs grew thick. Now the mountains and forests are silent, and the shimmering voice of the spring waters, tinkling like jade, can no longer be heard. But you don't understand. You still think you must stop me. Ling Yuan, I count myself more blessed than most to have lived such a happy life, and in the end my soul returned to my home. You are the one who does not understand. Yes, and I have never understood. After you defeated me, you should have taken my territory. You planted tea on my mountain and gave that land to the humans. I do not understand why you did this. Chenyu Vale was once but a nameless land, and we were nameless insects. Geese and fish. I was the master of an uncultivated mountain, and today that place belongs to neither of us. You took a human form and walked among them. You instituted the Range Aid rite and helped him change the soil and water. I did not understand that either, but I could see how happy you were. The snake changed into a human form and used her knowledge to create medicines and save the sick. I could understand how the agile human fingers could do more than what she wished, but I did not know why it was done. What happened after caused me still more confusion. You fought alongside humans and their so-called gods, and you perished. Humans fighting each other over territory and survival. Now that I can understand. You both belong to the great river and the mountainous forests. You could have chosen to leave them and live on with me. Let that which is human belong to them, and nature belong to nature. Even if our territory were to shrink, we could still live freely. Now you wish to stop me and defend this land subdued by humanity. Answer me. Why? Ling Yuan, my friend, it is as you say. I do wish to protect them. Do not answer me with my own question. I was asking you why. Ling Yuan might be a beast, but she sure cares about the order of things, huh? I know, that's how I learned so much from her. So you guys were just discussing stuff in the mountains? Not totally. That said, after hearing everything Bluey said about Big Sis Fusion, I thought they'd be happy to meet each other. At first I was like you. I did not understand humanity, and I did not enjoy their excessive demands and love of hoarding, or their eternal desire to have more than they need, caring so little for the needy themselves. Trading, wealth, like you, I did not understand these concepts, and did not understand why they influence human joy and sorrow. But across the long years, I have also seen many other things. The cries of children break my heart, and the sound of an old person's shattered memories saddens me, just as though it were all a microcosm of these mountains and rivers. Have you noticed them, seen them? The children who wash their little feet in the streams, fishermen laughing beneath the light of the rainbow's arc, the moonlight trysts of lovebirds, their figures painted silver. Humans too are creatures of this land. Just how different is their innocence from ours? You mean to say that you have chosen to take their side due to these emotions, not through natural principles or logic, and not due to anyone's orders. I suspect that Herblord had much the same reasons as I. That said, I'm sure she'd put it all very differently. I remain unsatisfied with your answer, Fusion. I do not understand. Do you not? I think you've understood for a long time. When our previous god, raised the waters, it was you who brought your familiars around to attack the people and drive them to the shelters we had created. I just wish to help my friends to make their wishes reality. Even if doing so meant going against nature and the principles you follow. Even if it meant going against the principles and nature I follow, I would do so anyway. Well then, we aren't that different now, are we? Didn't you also choose your own position on account of your feelings? I'm satisfied with your answer, Fujin. Now you may ask a question. May I ask the next question? Ask away. You acknowledged my answer, acknowledged me, and acknowledged that you made choices based on your own feelings. Now let me ask you. Don't ask. You know what I'm going to ask you, right? If I needed your help, would you still make the same choice? That's right. And what's your answer? Yes, I would. Even should another 1,000 years pass, and even if you asked me 1,000 more times, my answer would be the same. In that case, Ling Yuan, I do in fact need your help. I truly wish to save the people of Chenyu Vale, so please don't stop me from nursing the water and soil. Promise you, Fujin, you have walked with humans for much time and have learned their cunning. Well, I am but a foolish beast. My claws and teeth are sharp, but I am no match for you. Thank you, Ling Yuan. Thank you, Traveler Paimon and Little Mao. You've accompanied me for so long, and you've helped me a lot. I wouldn't have made it here without you. I would have helped you. I thought that Bluey got to meet you all. I was so worried when you fought. You also have my thanks, Traveler Little Mao. It was you who brought Fujin to me, though the circumstances of the meeting were not what I hoped for. Well, mate. Well, alright then. Let us begin. A cutscene? It is a cutscene. I feel like she's gonna die. Big carp. You gonna come down, or did you just blow up? You still not understand. She used all the energy she accumulated recently to nurse the land. As you suspect. But we have now finished nursing the soil and water. The miasma that remains will not disappear immediately, so you'll have to be careful out there. Huh? Sorry for making you all see me like this, as just as Ling Yuan said, I have completely used up the energy I accumulated recently, so I can no longer maintain my favorite form. No, I thought you were dead. Hey, nothing. I was glad you're still here, Adeptus Fujin. Seriously, Ling Yuan. What about me? As long as you're still here. My form is as it has become. I am far more comfortable than before. At first I was trapped at Carp's Rest, and could only reminisce about the outside world through the scent of the tea offerings. If I had not met you in Paimon, people of such compatibility with the spirit veins, would have not have had none but my shadow to talk to, much less be able to leave Carp's Rest. Thank you for concern. Please forgive me, but I must depart now. I'll need a bit of rest. And another thing, Ling Yuan. What else would you have me do or not do? Nothing. I just didn't get to say that due to the circumstances prevailed before, but it's good to see you again. I know. Ah yes, the good old Han Solo Leia thing. Thank you all. Where'd that come from? Should thank you for bringing her back, safe, smooth, and slippery. Even the way in which her fins move is the same as I remember. Sure, got a strange way of remembering people, or fish, whichever. I don't know how you did it, nor why you were able to obtain her adeptal energy. All those thousands of years, and I never once heard her voice. Maybe due to, your unique constitution? I see. However, I am but a foolish beast. Even if I wanted to see her again, I would not know of a better way. I had only spent thousands of years clumsily imitating her methods, regulating the spirit veins in this land. I am quite stupid, and I only knew this method. And so I did it. It was akin to scooping every droplet from a rushing river, or every grain of sand from the vast desert. I knew as well that she would not smile as she once did, even if these mountains returned to how they once were. Qiaoying and the snake once laughed and swam happily here. Those days will never come again. She loves humanity too much, even more than she loves herself. Had I succeeded, she would only hate me. But that would have not mattered to me, so long as she could regain her form and swim freely once more. Oh, I thought you were more concerned about nature. Of course I care. A land untamed by humans, a land of wild beasts, but that is a different subject from the matter of fusion. If she thinks that a land tamed by humans is better, and that strange tea leaves grow on such land taste superior, then I shall do what pleases her. So thank you. You're welcome. What did the tea leaves taste like in the past? For when the land changed before, the tea leaves' flavor was much closer to what it was in the past, apart from some differences due to human influence. To me, the weirdly favored tea cakes we had were, in that case, for the current flavor profile. Tea leaves cultivated by humanity will be more to their liking, of course. What I didn't understand is fusion's taste. If the snake were here, we could ask for her opinion. But perhaps her tastes have also become strange from spending too much time with humans. Before you go, traveler, I have one final question for you. Those that come from nature will, for some reason, go against nature, against the laws that nature originally followed. Will humans also go against humanity? Against the principles they initially followed for certain reasons? Yes. Thank you. I have received the answer I desired. Well then, little Mao, traveler, Paimon, we shall meet again. Alright then. Also remember to take care of Big Sis Fusion. She seems kind of weak right now, so she could use some extra care. I will. Farewell. Please wait. I have a question for you as well. Ask then. If human activities are part of the laws of nature, how would you view humanity? A strange question. In the distant past, they were indeed part of nature, but they are so no longer. That is because, no. I need to give this question more thought. Next time we meet, I will give you my answer. Let's go, little Mao, back to Qiaoying village. Little Mao, I have to take you home. You've been out past your bedtime. How's it going, Jenny and Lacey? Welcome to the stream. You're back. I was just saying that good rainfall's bound to bring good tidings, and what do you know, dear guest? You've arrived right on time. How did it go? Well, I trust. Tell us all about it. It's all thanks to Adeptus fusion. Explain what happened to Grandpa Lou and Uncle Lo. So you met the legendary Adeptus. Oh my. As one would expect of the young miss of the Feiyun Commerce Guild. Were the two have friends in high places? Now your water and soil problems should be no more. Well, old Lo, what did I say? I told you it was a soil problem, but you wouldn't listen. If it wasn't for them, who knows when our tea leaf problem would have been solved. Regardless, thank you both for your help, honored guests. Your help and the protection of the Adeptus, I'm sure our village will surely see a great harvest of tea leaves this coming year. And yes, please take these. Take it as a token of our thanks. Oh, yeah, Paimon, almost forgot. We came across this kid during our adventures. Is he from the village, too? Uncle Lo, I'm back. So is it you, little Mao? Finally of a mind to come back, huh? You don't seem worried at all. What is there to fret about? This kid runs across the mountains at all time, and he always comes back safe after getting tired. If you ask me, there's been an Adeptus looking after him in secret all along. Oh, maybe it didn't have to been that said Adeptus. I've said it before, that wasn't an Adeptus, it was Bluey. Alright, little Mao, don't argue with Lo here. He's just pretending to know what he's talking about. Come by my place later, I'll make you some egg custard. Whoa, egg custard. And now you pretend to be a good person. Wait, what do you mean, pretending to know? In any case, I don't really know how to repay you, dear guests. Should you need any help in the future, Qiaoying Village will be there to lend you a hand. Chenyu's Blessings of Sunken Jade. Thoughts post-quest. It's interesting to me, and I want to check it before we end. This is This is the solitary Swanee. This is Bluey. Or Ling Wen. So if I go here, do I trigger a fight or do we have dialogue? Because this, I don't believe that they started doing dialogue with bosses up until Nodcry. But you did say the next time that we met. That's what I thought. Actually, you're not the same. You're not Ling Wen. Are you? Your profile looks ever so slightly different. I can see why people like that quest. In fact, I'm betting I get the new avatar from doing it. Rain Jade Ablation. Well, interesting. That was a good world quest. I mean, it was obviously the jet equivalent of a world quest, but still. How in the world did you guys trigger on me when I was that far away from all of you? But yeah. Nice to see some Liyue lore again, and honestly, that's an interesting... I hope they go back and we re-examine the relationship with the two of them. Or at the very least, seeing Fusion again. Because I know it's been a long time since this quest originally released. I don't think we've ever come back here since then, even for like limited events, or even Lantern Rite. Even when we had Chenyu Vale Lantern Rite, I don't think this was part of it. But yeah. That'll be it for the YouTube part of this video. I'd like to thank everybody so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. As we claim our wonders of the world. You want to see me live? You can find me every day, starting at 8 a.m., going for about 4 to 5 hours, depending on the content to be covered that day. And yeah. Until next time, this is Blaze of Blazing Flame Studio, signing off.